God. Yeah, this is a bit of a moment in human history, let's say. Not only am I debuting the in motion, in progress home studio business that I've been putting together across the last few months, but at the same time, Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are our Daxter and Jack in that order. We're going to be getting Chris Pratt's Daxter and Tom Holland's Jack. Oh, in one of the most, AI generated, you thought it was a joke tweet / X, but actually it's happening, reveals of all time, really. Yeah, this comes from over on a write-up on Eurogamer, but initially from a tweet or an X from My Time to Shine Hello, which is quite a well-known Marvel leaker over the years, now saying that Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are being eyed to be Jack and Daxter. But like I said, in reverse order, the idea that Chris Pratt's little voice coming out of Daxter and then giving Jack a bunch of lines, which I guess if we're going to get into Jack and Daxter, the games themselves, we're going to talk about, the way that trilogy rolled out. You'd had a game where the original Jack and Daxter, Jack was a mute character. He didn't really start talking until Jack 2. And then Jack 2 was the one that was massively influenced by GTA. Naughty Dog noted in their 30th anniversary art book that they were, just head down making platformers. That was what they did. Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter. Yes, there are a couple of RPGs if you go back far enough. But GTA blew up so much that they were like, we need to do something like that. And Jack 2 all of a sudden had Jack be this gruff dude with a little goatee that I loved, because of course I did, when I was younger, and I still love Jack 2 now. But all of a sudden you had this way more gruff version of the character that sort of kind of mellowed out a bit in Jack 3. But it's one of those things where if you're now casting voice roles to try and do Jack and Daxter from the ground up, are you still going to do the story from Jack 1? Like, do you do the whole thing with like the green sage and exploring the island and it's really cutesy and more like that? Or do you do something more encompassing of Jack and Daxter overall? I have no idea. I mean, I have to assume that this thing is animated. It just has to be. I don't know if we're going to do a live action Jack and Daxter. Part of me would totally take that. Like a weird little animated Chris Pratt just on Tom Holland's shoulder. Because to be honest, there was a live action version of Jack and Daxter in motion. Like a one with an actual dude called Jack and a little rat on his shoulder called Daxter that Naughty Dog were working on that eventually became The Last of Us. It's one of those weird Naughty Dog gaming history things where they were playing around with the idea of rebooting some characters. There are sketches out there of the realistic version of Jack and Daxter, and it was just a dude called Jack with his little rat pal, that lived in an apartment together or whatever, and then they'd go on adventures, and who even knows what that thing would have been, like Uncharted meets The Last of Us, meets the original Jack and Daxter. Point being, though, that I guess you could go either way with this. I have to assume that they do a full animated Super Mario style movie for the masses where you've done the ridiculous casting, or what feels like ridiculous casting, of getting Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. Yes, I know they were in Onward together, and Onward's a solid enough film. These guys have played, close companions before. They were a brother combo in Onward. It's just hilarious. It's one of those meme combos, because it just feels like everyone goes to Chris Pratt as the default dude to cast in something, and now it's actually true. This also comes after Tom Holland was doing a whole bunch of interviews, specifically quite a long-form interview recently where he was just talking about being sick of Hollywood, just realizing how much of a bad place that is to be for his mental health, for his general well-being, and how he wants to make a point of, getting back touching grass, getting back to his friends, making sure he's making all the right decisions going forward. And then he's gonna be Jack. He's gonna be Jack in the Jack and Daxter movie. So, I mean, sure, dude did Spider-Man. I actually really like the Uncharted movie. It's stitched together. Again, feels like it was AI composited with a random sponsorship from Papa John's in the middle of there. But I like the Uncharted movie. I thought it got the spirit of the game pretty damn well. I thought the final pirate ship chase thing was nicely inventive. It kind of felt like something that you might see in Uncharted, 3 or 4. And I thought they did it pretty well. So now you've got a dude who's gone from being Spider-Man to Nathan Drake to now also being Jack. Alongside the fact that, the Twisted Metal Battle show is kind of taking off over on Peacock. It's a network that I don't even know if we can get in the UK, but I haven't seen any of that yet. But it is reviewing fairly well. So that general idea of PlayStation Studios, you know, seeding all these different properties and being out there talking about wanting to do these different properties, it's kind of interesting seeing it all come together. Like maybe Tom Holland just is their dude. I've long thought that they only changed the Insomniac Spider-Man face to make it look more like Tom Holland anyway. I always thought that was the plan from the beginning. So I just wonder how many other things you hang on Tom Holland. Like, is he also going to be Sly Cooper or something? Like, I mean, how do you do this? Another thing to throw in here, just in terms of the actual brass tacks facts of what's going on, is that the movie will apparently be directed by Ruben Fleischer, who did the Uncharted movie in itself. However, a hilarious thing that is in the Eurogamer write-up is pulling from an interview with Tom Holland where he talked about the idea of doing a Jak and Daxter movie, and he wanted to do, and I quote, a really weird and dark live-action version of the character. Now, maybe he played Jak 2 and he wants to do all the vehicle air jacking stuff, I guess they could call it, you know, to try and make that stuff work. But it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know where the average person is on this. I should probably clarify. I don't know how many minutes into this ramble I am, but I don't even hate this. This is just hilarious. This is just like, yeah, of course. Like, of course, in the ridiculous, disastrous cartoon that we're living in 2023, or the modern world, of course, Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are going to be our Daxter and Jak. Like, that's just, of course, that's what you do. And of course, Tom Holland likes the idea of doing a dark version of the character. Like, of course. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know where the average person is at on what they want from a Jak and Daxter movie. I thought it was weird when we did a poll a little while ago over on the YouTube channel, like on the community page, asking what people's favorite Naughty Dog franchises were. And Jak and Daxter was last. And I was like, yeah, I guess like Last of Us and Uncharted's like way up there. And fine, sure, we've got Crash. But I'm just saying, like, Jak and Daxter was always a bigger deal to me anyway. My point is, I don't know how much they need to reintroduce the IP to a lot of people, or whether you can just do a what identity, you know, is there to pick from? Is it the cutesy original? Is it the dark and gritty GTA middle installment? Or is it the light Jak and dark Jak stuff from Jak 3, where it's a bit more balanced, but it's kind of just like an animated Mad Max? I have no idea, is what I'm saying. And I just didn't expect this to be happening. I'm recording this at home because I wasn't expecting anything to be happening. It's Monday, you know. You've just got Josh is off, Ewan's on holiday, Sai's away too. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on elsewhere. And I'll just have a nice little day at home. I'll just catch up on some emails and do a bit of working from home stuff. No. The universe was like, don't you sit down for very long. We've got Jak and Daxter casting up in here, so just talk about that down in the comments. Do you like it? Is it what you want? Would Charlie Day have been a better Daxter? I don't know anymore. I also don't have an outro, but I'll put a video here that's probably relating to Naughty Dog or something, and just take care, yeah? Because